a while since we've done a video, or at least a talking video. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Sleepy boy! I don't know if you guys have been watching YouTube a lot. There's this eyeshadow palette tag that's going around, and I don't have that many eyeshadows, but I just thought it would be fun to do this and at the same time do a bowl tag as well. So first question is, what is your most recent eyeshadow palette? So for me, I recently just purchased this. This is the She palette by Colourful, and it's mostly very reddish pinkish tone. So far I've only gotten a few use out of this, but I really like it so far. It's not so neutral tones, more reddish, more pinkish tone. Like, it comes out with a lot of like very romantic looks. And for Bailey, the newest bowl he got was from Bowlicious. I've not been purchasing a lot of bowls for Bailey because he has too many, but I couldn't resist it when I saw this. So the second palette that we're gonna talk about is my oldest palette. And this palette, unfortunately, is not really with me any longer. So it's actually been deported into this palette right here. So if you can see this shade down here, and this shade down here, and actually a few other shades inside down there, it's actually the Swamp Queen palette. But it was a collaboration with one of the YouTubers called Bunny, and I really enjoyed that palette a lot, and I love the colors and the shades, but it was very old, so I deported it into this palette and I threw away some of the shades here as well. So for Bailey, his oldest bowl, but I would think, once again, is this bowl. Oh, show everybody a bowl! Okay, so this bowl is by Fluff You. So I bought this together with a leash set for him. His leash set has gotten super dirty, but the bowl is still quite new and not too bad. It's a bit rough around the edges, but I think it's still in very good condition for his oldest bowl. So that's yes. Next up on the list is most expensive palette. And when I was watching this, a lot of people were talking about like Natasha Denona and like very expensive palettes. But my most expensive palette is the Modern Renaissance. I think a lot of you have probably heard about this one. It's very hyped up. I actually just got this quite recently, I think within the last 1 to 2 years. And I got it because it was on sale at Sephora. And so you can take a look at the shades. It's very beautiful. Very good mix of neutrals, warm tones and cool tones. I don't really use the berry shades down here, but the rest of the palette, especially this color here, Primavera, is really beautiful. As for Bailey, I think the most expensive bowl we bought is probably from Levu Pets, this really beautiful and intricate bowl that we've been showing off quite a bit on Instagram here and there. I really love this bowl. Look at the details down here, and like, it's really amazing. But I think it's probably the most expensive one he's got. Right, Bailey? Right? So the next tag is the most affordable palette. For me, that would be the Strawberry Shake palette. And okay, if I open up the Strawberry Shake, you'll be very confused if you ever seen this before. So usually it's a very pink berry kind of palette, but it looks very different because what I've done is I've actually taken a lot of my Colourpop, other Colourpop shades and actually put them into this. So it consists of all neutral tones down here right now. But I think this was probably the most affordable palette out of the bunch. So for the next category, it's everyday palette. So for this, I chose the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded. I got this relatively recently as well. And at first when I actually got the palette, I didn't think that I would really like it, but it's somehow become one of my everyday go-to palette. I really enjoy using this so much. It's very easy to use it for work, just for a very easy look. Yeah, so that is my everyday palette. For Bailey is a fancy boy. The one that I usually put him in is this really adorable sparkly little bowl. And the reason why I always wear this on him is because he looks super handsome when he wears it. Look at it! And it really stands out. So the next palette is the most colourful palette. And for that, I chose the BH Cosmetics Summer in Saint-Tropez. And as you can see, this palette is super duper colourful. There's a lot of like very vibrant shades, and there's also a lot of like interesting duochromes in there. So I really enjoy this. It doesn't seem like an everyday palette, but I actually use it quite a lot because I think there's a lot of very like versatile looks that you can create with this. And for Bailey, of course, his most colourful bowl, I would think it's probably this bowl by Fluffy. So it has greens, it has pinks, it has orange. It's a really nice bowl. Look at it, it looks so nice on him. So for the next palette, it's the smallest palette, and for me it's kind of cheating. This is more like a cheek palette than the face palette, but I bought it because of the packaging. And I actually do use this as an eyeshadow palette. I don't really use blushes. So it has really beautiful pinky rosy shades, and yeah, I really enjoy this palette, and it's probably, look at that. Can I have your paw? That's how big the palette is. For Bailey's smallest bowl, this is super cute and adorable, and it's given by his friend for his birthday. Look at this! Look how tiny it is. Can I put it in proportion? That's how teeny tiny it is. Oh, no, stop biting your smallest bowl. So for the biggest one, it's actually a palette that you've seen previously. This is actually my largest palette. It's by Too Faced. It's the Natural Love palette, and a few of these shadows have been depotted. Don't really want to tilt it because it can actually fall out. But yeah, it's a very neutral palette, and as you can see, I really use it a lot. And I really enjoy this palette a lot, even though I don't really buy that many large palettes, as you can see. Oops! For Bailey, his biggest bowl is this. It's by Cuddle. Look at that ginormous bowl down there. It looks really good on him because it can be seen from a mile away, which I really like. For best memory, I would say for me it's this palette. This is also the most used palette for me, and the reason why it is so meaningful to me was because I got this in Edinburgh when I was studying there. It's a very neutral, simple palette. And another reason why I really love it is because I got the exact same palette for my... Oh no, don't go! And another reason why I really love this is because I got the exact same palette for my best friend for her birthday. So we have matching palettes there, and I mean, it gives me a lot of memories of Edinburgh and UK as well. So I really enjoy this palette. It has a very special meaning to me. So the next category is worth the hype. So for me, I think this was worth the hype because of the collaboration more than because of the palette itself. But mine is the Midnight Masquerade by Colourpop as well. As you can see that I'm a Colourpop fan. I have so many Colourpop palettes. This one, a few of the colours have been taken out to create my strawberry shade palette, but most of the colours are still in it. I really like this, not just for the packaging, but I love the colours that are inside. They're very vibrant, they're very unique, and I love the combinations. And look at the packaging, it's so amazing. So the worth the hype bowl that I chose for Bailey, I chose a bowl from Holly & Co. So this is not a local brand, but I think it's very popular internationally, and I really enjoy a lot of their bowls, but this is probably the one that I really like for Bailey. I tend to realize that red looks very nice on Bailey, or like these burgundy kind of colors, and it just makes him look very festive, on a Christmas or on a Chinese New Year. I think this bowl is very versatile and it's really nice. Okay, not worth the hype. So not worth the hype, I didn't have anything for Bailey's bowl because we really like all the bowls that we have bought, and I don't think any brand out there is like overrated or anything. But for palettes, I chose, everybody's gonna kill me, but the Sweet Talk palette. I know a lot of people love this palette, and I thought I would love this palette as well. I mean, if you actually look inside at the colors, they're super pretty, and look at the packaging, it's super nice as well. But somehow, right, when you actually dip into the palette, they tend to be very neon or very bright. And I mean, as you can see, the rest of the palettes that I chose, a few of them are pretty like vibrant colors as well. But I just thought that this palette, I expected it to be a lot more neutral, and I got very bright, so that's why I guess I was a bit disappointed. But having said that, I know a lot of people love this, and I really want to try it out again to see if I'm missing out on something like that. Okay, so the next one is favorite palette from a favorite brand. So this palette is by BH Cosmetics. It's a collaboration with Tina Yong. It's the Run Wow palette. And it's a really interesting palette because it's not just an eyeshadow palette, but it also comes with a bronzer and a few blushes. And I know I said previously that I don't really use face palettes that much, but I actually use these shades as like very neutral kind of eyeshadows, and it's really nice because it helps to kind of neutralize all the colourful looks down here. And I really enjoy this palette so much. I realized that not a lot of people talk about it. I feel like it deserves more hype, but I really enjoy it. I think this is one of my favorite palettes from BH Cosmetics, and yeah. So for Bailey, I would say this is one of my favorite bowls that I like to wear for him. I realize all the bowls that I choose for him is kind of girly, I know. This is by The Bold Secret and it's super pretty. I love the colors and I love the lace details. I think it's a bit dirty right now, but you know, it's still really beautiful. And look, it looks gorgeous on him, doesn't it? Super anticlimactic, but finally the last tag is most used. So as I mentioned before, it will be my Kiko palette that you know, has the best memory for me. And for Bailey, it's also a repeat, unfortunately. So his most used will probably be one of these two, which are The Bold Secret or the Label Pet Swine. Okay, thanks to everyone who stuck by us and watched the entire video of our eyeshadow palette tag and Bailey's bowl tag. See you around!